Right, it's time for one final blog from this Champions Trophy from England. It's the kind of thing a lot of you like to talk about, debate. We like to mull over and produce as well. And so these are the 5 moments, the 5 passages of play that I thought best defined this Champions Trophy. The first of those in my mind came in the Pakistan-Sri Lanka game. It was a game that Pakistan simply had to win on their comeback trail. They're struggling. It's not a big score from Sri Lanka, but they are 7 wickets down. They still need 43 to win. Sarfaraz and Amir are putting together a partnership. The lion-hearted Malinga, shorn of pace, is trying his best. And then Sarfaraz chips one straight to Thisara Pereira at mid-on. And he puts it down. It was the kind of catch which if we had dropped in an inter-school game, we could not have met our cricket teacher. And then Sikuge Prasanna thought that it's unfair on Thisara Pereira to be alone, so he puts one down as well. The partnership develops, Pakistan go through, and it's another stage in that fantastic comeback journey. So that was moment 1. Moment number 2, it's India versus South Africa, another knockout game. South Africa under pressure, people are saying how will they go about it, they're batting first. And after a slightly sluggish start, they're actually doing very well. Faf du Plessis is batting well. AB de Villiers is starting to show signs of getting in. They're 140 for 2, 28 overs gone. They're 5 and over, looking good for 300. And then Faf calls AB for a single that wasn't there. What happens 5 balls later? He calls David Miller for a single that is not there. Suddenly 4 wickets down, South Africa never recover. They finish 191 and India chase quite easily. And we discover that on the big day, South Africa still find different ways of bottling it. So the 2 Faf runouts are my second moment that defined this Champions Trophy. Moment number 3, pretty dramatic. The old enemies are playing each other, England versus Australia. Australia made 277. Stop start, but something to bowl with on what is a very good batting surface. And then the fast bowlers come out and do really well. England down 35 for 3. It starts to rain. Everyone's thinking, wow, this is the Australian bowling lineup that we thought would create chaos in this tournament. And then the first 2 balls after that, Owen Morgan crunches Mitchell Starc for 2 boundaries. Ben Stokes starts following up at the other end, and then it is a spectacle from either end. Morgan makes 87, Stokes gets 100, they put on 157 in no time. England stroll through, but as a statement of intent on how England are going to play, it was one of the most breathtaking displays of counter-attacking batsmanship from England against Australia. So that was my moment number 3. Now let's move on to our next one. Bangladesh are playing against New Zealand. New Zealand think we've got this covered. They've not scored a lot of runs. They made 265. They should have made more. But they think they've got it covered when finally the ball is doing something. Bolt is bowling well. Southee is bowling well. Bangladesh lose 3 wickets early. Then Mushfiqur Rahim goes. They're 33 for 4. And that has to be the end of Bangladesh. Musaddiq at 7 and then the 4 bowlers after that. Many Bangladesh teams of the past from there on would have been 100 all out, and I've seen many of those matches. But this Bangladesh team was a bit different. This team believed in itself. This team backed itself. Shakib Ul Hasan gets 100. Mahmudullah gets 100. And New Zealand inside the circle, they're all looking at each other and they're saying, is this really happening to us? Are we actually losing this game? And then the realization comes in as Shakib mounts that fascinating counter-attack right at the end to seal it, that it is actually going to be Bangladesh into the semi-final in one of the run chases that we remember in Bangladesh cricket history for a very, very long time. The counter-attack from Shakib Ul Hasan and Mahmudullah is another of our great moments at the Champions Trophy. That leaves one more. It came in the final. Pakistan have batted beautifully. They've made 338. Fakhr Zaman has scored runs, Azhar Ali has scored runs. The Professor Mohammad Hafiz has come in and just taught a different course. It looked like there was someone else by that name and by that look, the way he was batting. And Pakistan are now worried about how Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma and the master of the run chase, Virat Kohli, are going to go about it. And then Mohammad Amir starts a spell. There's no swing in this tournament, remember. He gets one to slant back in that Wasim Akram would have been proud of, Rohit Sharma's LBW. Then one goes right through Virat Kohli's defense. One produces the outside edge. Azhar Ali drops a dolly. And then Shadab Khan picks up a beautiful catch at point. Kohli gone number 2. Shikhar Dhawan looks like he's going to get going. Another ball just hits the deck, leaves, gets the outside edge. In 6 overs, 3 of them gone. 6 overs, 3 for 16. The spell that actually won it for Pakistan. So there you are. Those are the 5 moments, the 5 little passages of play that I thought defined this tournament. To me, the one motive, there were two things that I will remember at the end of this tournament. One was a spectacular coming apart of South Africa after that first game. You just thought that, were they there in the tournament? With such talent, you look at the team sheet, you look at the scorecards, they're telling you two different stories. That was one motive for me, but the story of the tournament had to be Pakistan, much like the 1992 World Cup. Short of having to buy their return tickets, they'd really done everything. They were gone, they were dead and buried. And then the comeback started. 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, culminating in that fantastic final. When you look back at Champions Trophy 2017, you look back at it as the story of the return of Pakistan.